Thought it's about time I did another Blake 7 scratch build craft. And this new one I'm doing, I'm going to make a craft that is mentioned but never seen in the show. And that's the spacecraft that belongs to the fantastic Bayban the Butcher. In the episode, The City at the Edge of the World, Bayban tells his man to go off and get the gun from the ship. And this is the gun. All right, this little affair is a gun. So the ship's not seen, you never see the ship, but you do see the gun. So I thought it would be quite fun to actually imagine what Bayban's ship would look like. And I've got an idea in my head what it's going to look like. It's going to be black and it's going to be studded, much like Bayban's outfit. All right. So I figure that the starting point is the gun. All right. If I make the gun and then go from there. Now, he tells his man to go and get the gun from the ship. So I figure that the gun has got to be easily removable, right? And it sort of looks to me like, because it's got two handles here, that it's almost like one of the guns in the Millennium Falcon, all right, sticking in some sort of like bubble canopy, all right? So that's the first thing. I start from the gun and work from there. The next thing is, what scale am I going to make it? All right. Now, it can't be too small because it would mean making this gun very, very small, right? So what I'm decided to do, and this dictates the scale, is, let me bring that photo back. Basically, you've got a long rod with a couple of discs on it, right? And one of the discs I'm going to be using is from the old Airfix Lunar Module kit. That's the disc that I want. And that's going to be the tube. Now, it's not ribbed like that one, but it's okay. It's going to be black, so you're not really going to see much detail. I need to find another dish for that. And I'm figuring, yeah, that dish there, when you look at it next to one of the 1/72nd scale astronauts, is comparable in scale to the dish to Bayban. All right, so this is going to be a 1/72nd scale ship. All right, so dish, barrel. I found this in my bits box, which I've kept from something or other. It's a blister from something. I think it's it was a cover for a toy that I took apart. I think there was a light inside, but I'm figuring that would make a nice little bubble blister that the barrel will stick out of. All right, so that's going to be the blister for the gun. And then for the whole hull of the ship, I'm using this old hairdryer, which I've had for getting on for 20 years ago. I bought two of them, and I basically cut the handle off of this one and stuck it onto the other one to make a submarine type ship. And I'm figuring, well, why not use it? I mean, you know, Matt Irving famously made a ship from two hairdryers in Blake 7, so why not? And I like this very meshy front to it. I figure this is the cockpit, and the plan is to actually have the bubble up on top about here. All right. The only problem being the ship's quite small, isn't it? I mean, we see maybe 5 or 6 people. Bayban and his men amounts to about 5 or 6. So it's got to be able to hold them. So I'm going to extend the length of the ship that away. And just in keeping with the BBC effects department of the time of the 70s, I'm going to be using kit parts that were available back then. So expect a lot of Saturn V and Space Shuttle parts going on. First thing I've got to do is, where I very clumsily hacksawed that handle off, I've got to tidy that up and fill it. That's the first job. And when that's done and that's all sorted, I'll come back. All right, so I was going to put landing legs on this ship, but I've decided against it. He's going to have like a landing pad, which is this very thick, high quality foam board I've stuck on the bottom, and I've just put a strip of plastic card around it to disguise the join between the two sizes. As you can see, I'm still working on that. I'm going to detail all that up. Oh, by the way, the front bit pings off, and I've pinged it off while I'm working on this bit, and I've got a feeling the back of this ship is going to be a lot heavier than the front when I'm done, so it's not going to actually stand on its pad. So I'm keeping that off until the last minute, because what I'm going to do is I need to weight down the front, and I think what I'll do is I'll just get a small cap off of a jar or something, or a paint spray paint can cap, and fill it with plaster of Paris and hot glue that in there to give me some weight. So that's the main part. Towards the back, as I say, I need to extend it to make the ship longer. Fitting onto the end of there will be these two parts off of the space shuttle kit. I've got an awful lot of space shuttle kit parts left. That actually slides onto there, so that's extending that. And then what I'm going to do here is on that end bit, I've decided at the end of this, that's actually going to be the entryway. There's the door into the ship is actually at the back, and the engines are actually going to be, let's see if I can do this, they're going to be kind of like either side of this bit, like so. And you might recognize these are cut down, oh what a surprise, space shuttle parts, the booster rockets, cut them down. And what I've done is I've stuck on, again, I've got a lot of spare EMA domes, so stuck that on the end, and I'm going to put a bit of detail on that. So that's the rear section, which I'll be working on next, and I'll come back when I've got quite a bit more progress on that. All right, more progress. So the bottom bit, I'm putting bits on. This is looking rather clunky and chunky compared to the lines of the thing. So I'm going to be disguising this. I'm going to be having some sort of like missile launchers. I'm going to go here and just disguise that. All right, that gun that you do see in the episode is going to be just about there on the top. Yeah, these are coming along. Cut down shuttle parts, dome, a few kit pieces. Again, I'm still sticking with kits that were available in the 1970s. The rear section, you can see I've put a couple of EMA square rod with some coat hanger wire in there, ready to attach those onto once I've attached it to the bottom, keeping it all in sub-assemblies for ease of working on it all. What I've put on here is some EMA I-beams, and that's because I'm going to give it wings, and these are the wings. All right, and this is going to be an anchor point, so they're basically going to be going on there at like a 45-degree angle. And I've started blobbing him up because this is Bayban the Butcher's craft. It's going to be black with silver studs. These googly eyes are going to be his studs. So once I'm done with a lot of it, I'm going to be putting these everywhere. Luckily, I've got hundreds of them, so that's good. So yeah, I think I'll come back once I've got them all the sub-assemblies are done and ready for assembly. All right, ready for primer. As you can see, the engine pods are on, the wings are on, the front's now on, rocket pods are on, and yeah, as I say, ready for primer. These red stripes, by the way, aren't meant to be panel lines. They were just to help me when I was lining up the back half with the front half. I wanted to know exactly where the top, the absolute top was, and the sides and the bottom. All right, I am going to be putting some more of these on. This is Bayban the Butcher's ship, so it's black with metal studs, the googly eyes. But I figured Bayban would be the kind of guy that would have go faster stripes. So he's going to be having red go faster stripes. So on with the primer, and then I'll be back. Well, this isn't the primer stage. At the weekend, I had a window of about an hour outside without any rain. So it was a quick spray on with the primer and then a spray on with the black. Now the black, the usual car shop where I get my spray paints from, didn't have any matte black. All they had was the satin, which is rather shinier than I would have liked. But that doesn't really matter because I'm in the process of adding these red stripes, and these are gloss. So I was going to spray the whole ship with a coat of matte varnish when done anyway. So that's what I'm up to at the moment. I'm just adding more red stripes. When I'm done with that, coat of matte varnish, and then I'll be applying, hand painting some blacks on panels to, you know, just get a difference in the blacks, and then some weathering. Okay, and all done. So there we go. Not much in the way of weathering, mainly around, I guess, where the odd bit of space debris will hit. The gun that you see in the show is here at the front. Bayban says to Sherm, go and get the gun from the ship. So I figured the gun would be better down near the ground. That'll be easier to remove, wouldn't it? So there you go. That's Bayban the Butcher's spaceship as I see it.